What's up, everyone? This is Chris Shinjik from StrengthAddicts.com here at the NPC Kentucky Derby Festival Championships. I'm here with Men's Physique Pro, Andre Ferguson. Andre, how are you today?
Feeling good, man. What's going on?
Fantastic. We're here at the Blueprint Performance booth. Talk to us a little bit about why you're here at this great show.
I'm here with Blueprint's Performance. Rob called me up, asked me if I could do him a couple favors, come out to his store, come out to the show. So I'm just basically taking care of Rob.
Now, I think someone would have to live under a rock right now not to know what's going on in the world of pro men's physique. You know, all over the websites, the big websites, the small websites, everybody's talking about it. Now, the division, to be totally fair, has really breathed so much new life into competitive physique-based sports. I mean, you go to any show, local, regional, national, and men's physique is like the most, it's the biggest division.
It is because, how should I say this? Bodybuilding is still king. The open is still king. But what happened is your average person can't be an open bodybuilder. Your average person, this is actually attainable. Maybe my exact physique isn't, but a men's physique mold is attainable for the average person. So people like to be involved in stuff that they feel they can achieve.
And I think, you know, because the reason that I wanted to include that is because right now the division is getting a lot of hits on social media, the message boards and the shows because of the controversy and because of the feud. But it would be an injustice to say that that's the only reason why it's popular because, like you said, so many people see it as an attainable physique that can be reached through a lot of hard work.
Any show you go to, men's physique and bikini have the most competitors. So the controversy has nothing to do with it. That just keeps it alive on the social media boards.
Absolutely. Now, what I do have to say about the controversy, and it's very interesting because whenever you have a champion that's been there for multiple titles, the question starts to become, is the person beatable? In bodybuilding, we've got Phil Heath 7 times. In the 212, we've got Flex Lewis 6 times. Now we have Jeremy Buendia. I mean, obviously, I'm going to ask you this because I think that you can beat him, but do you think that he's beatable?
I'm going to answer it like this. Do I think I can beat him? Yes. But is he beatable? He's not beatable until somebody beats him.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Everyone says, oh, everyone's beatable. But he's not beatable till you beat him. People have been saying that about Phil for 7 years. People have been saying about Jeremy for 4. So everyone, oh, everyone can be beat bullshit that people try to use. No, everyone can't be beat. And everyone can't be beat by anybody. So Joe Schmo can't beat Jeremy. It's going to take one of the best athletes in the world to beat him. So everyone can't be beat, technically.
But let me be honest with you, though, because I think what George Brown did at last year's Mr. Olympia, and I love George Brown. I like that. I mean, he made it, you know, interesting. And now some people would say, oh, but that you know, it was too controversial, you know, too confrontational. But it was, I mean.
But this is the thing about it. It was kind of staged. So that, like, everyone didn't get that part of it. So we need, like.
I didn't get it.
They wanted to add a little spice to it. Like, did they think George was going to beat him? No, but they wanted to add a little bit more spice to it. Look, it made everybody watch, right? that was the goal.
And Pumping Iron, you go back to that movie, and a lot of that was staged. We find out, you know, decades later, you know, but the Ken Waller, you know, the Mike Katz thing, that's what made it interesting. It was just like guys pumping iron, nobody would watch it.
I don't want to say rivalries because it's not a rivalry if one person keeps winning, but the competition is good because the competition keeps people coming. Even with bodybuilding, people say it gets boring because Phil wins every year. Yo, Phil's light years ahead of everybody else. So in my opinion, you take Phil out the group. Phil's winning every year. And then we basically just look at the rest of the people. Who's getting second? Who's getting third? Besides that, Phil's got first.
But my issue here, and this is what I think is very special about you and also Brandon, is that you guys are not trying to be better versions of Jeremy Buendia. You're trying to be different versions, different physiques to win the title.
No, I'm not trying to be different or anything. I'm trying to be the best version of myself. So everyone should be trying to be the best version of them. Jeremy's the best Jeremy. I'm the best me.
But when you have someone that's been a champion that long, you do have folks, I think, fall prey to that, where they want to.
I know what you're saying because they start chasing his physique instead of chasing their own. Nah, I don't fall into that game.
Now, in terms of the feud that's going on right now, do you see any end to it in the near future, or do you see this just going through to the Olympia and beyond?
The social media is going to keep it going because the fans are going to keep it going. Fans are always going to say something. They come on my page all the time. They be clowning Big Waves, Brandon. Like, they do it all the time. Like, so it's going to keep going. Like, it's going to keep going, but it'll shut up after the Olympia stage because there ain't gonna be nothing to say after people get beat.
Now, to play devil's advocate, you did say that the thing with George Brown last year at the Olympia was a little staged, and we know Pumping Iron was a little staged. Is any part of this feud that's rocking the fitness world now staged?
This is real. Like, this is, but look, this is why it's not real to me, though. These dudes don't want no real static off the stage. So then again, it's not real then. Because it's, if it's only on the stage, it's not a real feud then. Real feuds carry off in regular life too. So if you want to just keep it to the stage, then why even talk? Why even go back and forth then? That's the way I look at it. Yo, just shut up and do your work then.
Shut up and do your work. That sounds fantastic. That should be like the motto for a supplement company.
I look like this. I never bash people in interviews. You can go through all of my interviews. I can big myself up without throwing shade at somebody else. When you're throwing shade at other people, it's because you have a direct problem or animosity towards them. That's cool. But once you start talking about other people, then guess what? You're opening the floodgate. So now you got someone like Brandon. Now he's on social media bitching about, oh, this is still going on? Yo, my man, you created the environment. Like, the environment doesn't get created unless I say something. Once you said something and you mentioned other people's names, regardless if they asked you about them or not, the way you answered the question is creating the environment. So after you created the environment, you can't be mad now that there's all this tension and people are shooting at you daily. You created the environment.
Well, let me ask you one last question just about this here, because I think that, you know, when you talk to someone, like if you and I were having an argument and we were going back and forth, you know, like on DM or whatever, you know, in the back of my head, I would think, well, you know, this is a private conversation, so you owe me that. But you can't take that risk anymore in social media, because anything that we say could easily be screenshotted and blasted, you know, to the world, right?
100% fact. And this is the thing about the private conversation now, right? There was a reason why he didn't write it on his page. Because it was a private conversation. And because it's an altercation in a private conversation where I'm calling you out, where I actually want to get physical. Like, that's what Jeremy was doing. He wanted to get physical. So that's cool if Brandon didn't felt a certain way about it, but yo, dude, you don't go post that to make him look bad, bro. You can't, like, how you telling the teacher and the teacher's pet? Like, that's not gonna work out in your favor. You're still gonna look like the bad guy. And that's what
it's just interesting though, because you know we've seen this a lot of times in, like, when there's private conversations, like not just in bodybuilding but politically and all sorts of work stuff, you know, trade secrets, all sorts of stuff. And it's interesting because I think people make the mistake of thinking that the other person owes them a loyalty, and that loyalty doesn't exist.
That's the thing. In a private conversation, they don't actually owe them the loyalty unless me and you have a personal relationship. If me and you aren't cool, I don't owe you the loyalty to not post it. I get that part, but I kind of see it as being a sucker by posting it though, because you're kind of trying to get a pity party out of it. Like you want to make someone look bad and then try to make yourself look like I'm the good guy. Dude, this is bodybuilding. Nobody cared about no good guy and bad guy. The personnel, the fans on IG don't judge shows. When you're not being a man's man, because this is bodybuilding, so we like it's in this arena, people like mans. So when they feel you're being like a little bitch, kind of, they start looking down upon you for that. Like, yo, dude, like, you really posted these stuff? Like, if you guys had that much of an issue and it's that much of an issue, then yo, you know what? Go outside and go handle it then. Yo, we're missing the days where, all right, I got a personal issue with you, right? We go outside, we scrap it out, and it's over. Nowadays, it lingers and carries on because the animosity is always there. When you scrap it out, the animosity is done.
Usually.
Somebody took an L. After the L's over, hey, you took an L, we both clean ourselves up, shake our hands, and you know what? It's over.
But you're talking old school, 50s style.
It don't happen no more because everyone's a keyboard warrior now. Everyone feels comfortable in the safety of their home knowing they don't have to run into you.
Exactly. All right. So, Andre, where can friends and fans go to stay up to date with you on social media, and what are your future shows if you can announce it? I know that you guys are real strategic. Don't like to say that out loud.
No, man. What do you mean real strategic? Yo, if you're supposed to be a heavy hitter and you hide no shows you're doing, you ain't a heavy hitter. Yo, listen, I invite everybody to show up to the shows I'm showing up to. I named them all before the season. You know what? Because I look at it like this. I'm confident what I'm bringing to the show, bro. Show up if you want the free smoke, because I'm giving it out all day. So show up if you want it. But anyway, Lucky Libra 213. Those are all my handles on every platform. We got nothing coming up to the Olympia. They told me to sit out, so I'm just really... Usually I don't lift in my off seasons. I'm just one of the guys that just don't lift. But I'm lifting now, though. Yeah, this year, coach is like, no, we're not going on the couch this season.
Who is coach?
Oh, Omar Ventura, Omar V33 on Instagram. Y'all go check him out, man. Best coach in the world.
Fantastic.
But this year we're lifting all the way through, so I'm not lifting every day, but usually I don't lift at all. So we're trying to add some more size and make some improvements in certain areas. So we're lifting all the way through, and then instead of doing an 8-week prep, we're going to do 16 for this Olympia. So I'm back on prep in I think 3-4 weeks.
That's fantastic. Well, I really want to thank you. Usually people on social media only watch for about 2 or 3 minutes. I think people will watch this interview 2 or 3 times. 2 or 3 times. So for Men's Physique Pro, Andre Ferguson, Christian Duke, StrengthAddicts.com.